2022 may be the most difficult year to comp properties in your wholesale real estate business. One of the things that's making it difficult to comp properties this year is because of inflation. Now, with inflation, there are inflated prices. So your property may be worth $100,000. 6 to 9 months down the road, it may be worth $120,000 and $150,000, depending in your area. The other challenge with comping your property this year is with all the regulation and laws surrounding wholesaling and individual investors. The NAR Realtor Association, they're really trying to keep back their sold MLS data. So it's making it more difficult for your average Joe, your average investor, just to look at a property sold data and actually estimate a value for that property. In today's video, I'm going to effectively show you all the best way to comp your property this year with inflation, with regulation and laws. Because now you need a license in order to wholesale in certain states, or even a license being a realtor to access sold MLS data. In this video, I'm going to talk about disclosure states and non-disclosure states. So disclosure states, you can disclose on the public record what a property sold for. In non-disclosure states, you cannot even on the public record disclose how much a property sold for. So for example, Texas, we're going to drill into how to comp properties in Texas. There's some tips and tricks that I've learned over the years on how to comp properties in the state of Texas and other non-disclosure states. So by the end of this video, you will learn how to comp properties this year with all its challenges with inflation and laws and regulations. Before we go on, I want to know from you all, how are you comping your properties this year with everything going on? We're a community here, so we all want to learn from each other. So comment that down below. All right, now we're going to head into my computer. I'm going to show you all the best way to comp properties. All right, so now we're in Zillow. So this is the first stop that I want to take you all. And on Zillow, we're going to find the after repair value. So that's essentially what is the worth of this property after it's all fixed up, because this is very important in your wholesaling business, whether you're flipping properties yourself and just knowing what to offer the seller in order to give a fair price to the cash buyer, or even just market the after repair value to your cash buyer. So what we're going to do on Zillow, you can actually search by state, zip code, city, a bunch of different things, and you can zoom in to show a specific area that you want to comp properties or look at properties. So it's very intuitive in that way. So I just typed in a whole county, and what you can do is you can search by bedrooms and baths and square footage. So that's what we're going to do first. So let's just go for your classic 3 beds, 2 baths. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go to more, and we're going to go down to square footage, and let's just say we want it to be at least 1,000 square feet, right? And then we don't want it to go past, let's just say 2,750 for right now. And then with that, you can do is go to sold, right? Because in the state of Tennessee, it's a disclosure state, so they have property information that was sold, and that's recorded on the public record that we can see. Right? And the thing that I like about Zillow and Redfin and Realtor, a lot of times their properties show up a little bit faster than like your batch leads or your Freedom software or other data software services. But you know, those are still effective, and I'm going to show you all how to use those too. But from here, what you're going to do, this is the trick, you all. And this is the golden gem of this video, is you're going to go to keywords and you're going to put renovated. Because you're specifically looking for houses that have the keyword renovated in their description. So when the realtor is writing up their description, they're going to say, oh, recently renovated property, right? And you want to see what this property sold for with this many baths, this many bedrooms, and this square footage. So for example, you have properties like this property. Like this is obviously an updated property, and it's sold for $357,000. And so you know the area, you can kind of look at the map and everything about it. Don't miss out on this beautiful home and different things like that, right? And you can also look at what this this buyer or this cash buyer or developer or flipper bought the property for. So right here, they bought this property in May and they bought it for $170,000, right? And so let's say this is the property what it used to look like, right? So it's not horrible, but this person really took this property and made it a whole new thing, right? This nice blue exterior, and they sold it for $357,000. And look they were trying to price it at $399, thinking that the market is just going to take anything, but no, you got to slow down. And it ended up selling for $357. So it kind of took a few months actually to sell. Maybe there were some other issues with the inspection, but this is really effective because you get to see the journey from a cash buyer buying a property to trying to list it to it having price reductions and its actual sold price, right? So they sold it for about $180,000 more, $190,000. So let's say this person put $50,000 or $70,000, they easily cleared $100,000. Or close to it, after realtor fees and maybe lending fees and other things like that. So that's how you find sold data. That's one way to comp properties on Zillow, on using these websites. Put the bedrooms and baths and put the word renovated or recently rehabbed, something like that can show you that raw data. And this is for sold data, you all. And so you can know, okay, this is the price. This is how I'm going to price homes around this area. I look at the finishes. This is a really good renovation though. If something is more cosmetic, you can look at that. It's not really renovated that much. Sometimes these realtors just put renovated just to put renovated though. So you have to make sure you really look at the photos and everything. For example, there's new appliances here. There's new paint here. And let's see if we can look at the price history. So they bought it for $100,000. So it took them over a year and a half to finish this, but they finished it. All right, so that's how you would do that. The next option I'm going to show you also. This is my Comping Real Estate in 2022 Word doc. The next way is PropStream. So PropStream is a very effective tool to find motivated sellers, cash buyers, and sold data. Even though they don't have MLS sold data anymore, right? Or failed MLS listings, this platform is still powerful to find and comp properties. And I'm going to show you all how. So if you all are interested in PropStream, check the link down below. With my link, you get 7 days free trial. It just really helps support this channel so I can create some awesome, valuable content for you all. So we're in Atlanta, Georgia. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to filters, right? One thing that you can do is go to ownership information. Let's say you want them to own it for at least 1 year, right? So these are properties that was sold within the last year. Other things that you can do, you can go to valuation and equity to look at specifically cash sales, right? So that's one way to do it, right? Because you're just looking at properties in a specific area that sold for, a price that you may think is similar to what you're comping at the moment. So you can mess with that, but what I like to do is actually go to property characteristics, go to single family. Let's say you're come across a motivated seller that has a single family property, right? You can say, okay, maximum bedrooms. Let's say it has 3 bedrooms, right? So that would be the max. Let's say the square footage max is 2,000 square feet, right? Let's say the max bathrooms is, I don't know if you could put 2.5 here. So let's do that, right? So these are properties that sold in Atlanta, Georgia within the last year, right? That has 3 beds, has the square footage and different things like that, right? And then you can kind of go down, you can look at renovated properties, you can look at, just the data around that specific property. Let me see if you can look at so keyword search, maybe you can put renovated right here also, and let's see what shows up. So even on PropStream, you could put keyword search, right? So either in the MLS listing, they had the word renovated, right? And so let's for example, let's take this, let's go to MLS. And so look at fully renovated property, right? And so if you're looking at Atlanta, Georgia, and I would zoom in, I want to just take the whole Atlanta, Georgia, the good thing about PropStream is that you can zoom in. It will change according to what areas you're looking at and different things like that. So, and you can draw a box around here. So you can do something like this, use that box and just, draw around it, and then it will look for those specific properties. So even on PropStream, you can find data around, okay, what's selling for. So within the past year, we just saw what was selling for this price at a specific price range. The other thing about this is that you can drill it down even more. So let's say we go to ownership information and we want to be specifics with the date. Let's say we just want the last 6 months of the year, or the last 3 months, right? You could do last sale date, November, right? And it still has the keyword renovated. It's still 3 beds, 2.5 baths, and you have all these properties here. All right, so if you're interested in PropStream, check the link down below. So the third and final way is just reach out to real estate investors in your area. Go to them, go to Facebook groups and ask them, okay, how much, like, what's the square footage, sold amount, right? Is it like properties in this area? Are they selling for 150 square foot? Is that the sold price or other things like that? And people are more than willing to help you. So the other thing I want to show you all is how to find comps for disclosure states. So I'm in Texas, right? So I'm going to Texas. Texas, you cannot disclose, right? It's a non-disclosure state. You cannot disclose what a property sold for. And so I just went on Realtor. I went to Zillow, right? And all I did was look at this property that was recently sold, and it looks like it was recently renovated and everything like that. And so what I did was, the thing that you can do on these websites is look at their estimated value. And I know that's not the only thing you should look at, but they're like relatively close, right? And you have to make sure you look at multiple websites, because one may be just like an outlier, like extremely low, but like the 3 other websites are around the same price. So that's the price, right? So it's kind of looking at the medium price, right? And so we see right here, this property estimated value is around $394,000. But the thing is, they also have like some price history about it. So it has when it was listed, $395, and then it sold. Of course, they don't have the sell price or what it sold according to price per foot, right? And so we know they were listing at $395, and it quickly sold within like almost a month later. So it was probably close to this price or even a little bit higher, right? And so I look at another website. So I look at Redfin. So Redfin, their last list price was $395, but what is their estimated value for this property? So their estimate is around $408,000. Okay, so that may be around the price range. So properties in this area with this many baths, with this many acres and square footage will sell around this much. And you can actually look at Zillow too. Zillow estimates it at $396. So if you're trying to price this property, let's say you come across this property, it's not renovated yet, the seller's ready to sell, let's say, and he's like 50 grand worth of work, then you can offer them a price. Be like, oh, okay, well, now I know properties like this can sell around $400,000, right? So I'm gonna offer them $290 or $300,000. So a buyer can go in, put 50 grand, make 40 grand, 50 grand from this property. And that's how I would find properties in non-disclosure states, right? And you can also go to Texas on PropStream too, because they have estimates too on their comparable page, right? So that's another thing to look at. So for example, let's just put in this address right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste it right here. And I'm going to go to this property. I think I already looked at it. And then let's go to comparables, right? Obviously right here, they have in public record sales, prices are estimated due to non-disclosure state laws, right? And they don't have any amount, they have estimates. But look at what they priced the property at on the comparable page. They priced it at $384, which is relatively close to all these other properties, what it was listed for around $395, right? And so you know your range. You can even use websites like PropStream. So I know with everything going on with comping your properties, people may find it difficult to do, but you all don't worry. All right, you all, that was how to comp your properties in an effective way using different websites like Zillow, PropStream, and other methods in order to comp your properties this year with all the challenges of inflation, of regulation, and laws going on. All right, you all, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, and make sure you all don't worry about all these laws and all these things. You all can still comp properties, all right? It's very effective. You can still use the same websites. All right, talk to you all later. Peace.